again, American founder and head professor of Fun University, and your intrepid hostess of Craft Roulette. This is episode 132. Yes, it is, and it's the end of September and almost the beginning of Christmas card season. Are you ready for that? It's going to be a busy next 3 months, guys, so hang on to your card stock. Hey, this is the ultimate paper crafting, card making, game show challenge, and we are live every Friday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. You'd be surprised how many times I start saying that in a group. I'll be talking to a friend, they'll say something about Craft Roulette, and I say, yes, we're live every Friday night at 6:30 Central Daylight Time. And anyway, it just is part of my whole wordage anymore, and we're glad that it's part of yours too, because Craft Roulette may seem like a community. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, crafters and craftettes, we are more than that. We are a culture. I really think so. We have our own language. Isn't that what defines a culture? To have their own language? Hey, we got it. We got our uniform, our stretchy pants, because we know where we need to stretch our imagination. We've got a uniform. We've got people. We've got a communication system. We are we've got merchandise. We have a private blog. We are a culture. That could be a t-shirt coming. Anyway, we're glad you're here tonight. If you are a first timer here, and don't let me scare you, our culture is very friendly, and we are always glad to meet new friends that like to craft, or not craft, but just like to hang out and see what's going on in the crafting world, or whatever you like. We're here for you. I don't have any housekeeping. I do have some announcements to make, but I don't really have any housekeeping per se, so that's good. But I do want to give a happy birthday shout out to our guest crafter friend, Corinne Wiskman. It is her birthday, so everybody put on your best Mickey Mouse ears and go over to Instagram and tell her happy birthday. She would love that. We do want to say thank you so much for our spin sponsors this September. We've had some great times with you guys. This is the last night that we will be able to give away your product for a while, maybe next year. But we want to welcome we will be doing our giveaways tonight. For Mr. Producer, Prickly Pear will be still giving away a gift certificate. This was kind of an odd one because there's 5 Fridays in September. So thank you for that extra kick there. And Heffy Doodle, who we met, Miss Leslie, last week. I talked to her this afternoon on her Facebook Live, and she was kind of glad, I think, that she didn't have to stay up tonight and be live on Craft Roulette, but she did have a good time, and I had a good time with her too. So anyway, thank you guys so much for being spin sponsors. We really appreciate you. I will be telling you who the spin sponsors for October are in LITs. That's one of our cultural words, LITs, later in the show. So it's just an acronym. So anyway, that's that. We do have patrons, however. We are not sponsored by our spin sponsors. Our spin sponsors are our giveaway mechanism here at Craft Roulette. And so we like to give away things to people that send in cards every week. Did you see those cards? Were you here at the beginning of the show? At 6:10, we launched our Friday show with over 100 cards based on the parameters that we got last week. And you guys did super well. It was a great week, once again. If you want to go to craftroulette.live, you can see that gallery and all the other galleries going back to 2020 at your own pace and enjoy. I know people binge the show. It kind of freaks me out a little bit. But if it doesn't make you crazy, it would make me crazy to watch me for that many hours binging. Anyway, I see myself enough. Anyway, we don't have any sponsors for the show, but we do have patrons, and we so appreciate each and every one of you. We want to welcome Jennifer Johnson as a new patron this week. Thank you, Jennifer, for giving us a chance to help sponsor our show and for getting some bonus content. Oh, bonus content. Let's talk a minute about bonus content, shall we? That for our patrons. Mr. Producer has really gone out of his mind, and he has done something remarkable with our patron group. It is called the Gallery Manager. If you look at craftroulette.live, you will now see a sign over probably on this side, over on one of the sides that says Patron login. So you can log in there, and then that opens up your dashboard. On your dashboard, not only do you now have a card exchange to sign up for if you'd like, and by the way, we have 50 people that have signed up for the card exchange. I think that's just very cool. And we have 120 cards committed to be sent. So it's only 2 weeks old. And I think that's pretty doggone good, is what I'm thinking. So thank you guys for participating in that. But our gallery manager, it's cool. It's cool. It is for our patrons to create. They can curate galleries based on our, almost 10,000 cards that we've gotten from Craft Roulette. And they can curate them based on their cards, on somebody else's cards. Say they like somebody that's on the show a lot and they want to keep track of all their cards. They can make a gallery of that. Or they can make a gallery of all the cats. Or, if anybody wants to have a gallery of robots, I've already made the gallery. So you can see it. It's a public gallery. And that is the public part of it, where everybody can see the public galleries. Over on the craftroulette.live website, up at the top, there's associates. And in that associate menu, you can find curated galleries, and that's where you can find the galleries that have already been made in the last 48 hours. They're cool. They're very cool. I'm excited to see that. How is that different than Pinterest, you may ask? Well, all of those shows that you post in a gallery are linked to the original show that they appeared. They're all Craft Roulette related. You'll be able to see the parameters. You'll be able to see what show it was from. Then you can link on over to the show and have a little binge. Oh, that's still. Say you have a favorite guest crafter. You can look up theirs. Wouldn't you like to have some cool galleries of stuff like that? Say you want to you have some cards that you want to case and reproduce. You can make your own. I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, that is for all of our patron levels. You can also go to, there's all this stuff downstairs in the description box. Just walk on down. Anyway, we do have merch also. And I know I keep promising you've already done it. Never mind the merch. It needs to be updated anyway. But speaking of favorite guest crafters, we've got one here. She is a 7th time returning guest crafter from Ontario. I was going to say Ontario, Toronto, Ontario. Her name is Ardyth. One word, Ardyth. Bring her on. She's like Cher. She is our Cher. She's our Ardyth. Yay, she's back. How's that? You look fine. Oh, well.
Ardyth was muted, now she's not.
Okay, now you're not muted, melted. She said a little less makeup than Cher. Yeah, I bet she does kind of add a few pounds of makeup on. I don't want to gain weight, so I don't want to ever get on the scale and weigh more because of my mascara. So anyway, welcome back, Ardyth, Percy, Rob. You know that we love you so much here. We're so glad to have you. Ardyth came on the show the first time. It's almost your anniversary, because the first time you were on was October 16th, 2020.
Wow. I can't believe I've been on 7 times.
I know you've been on several panels.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Not as a solo, but we tried the panels and we're not too crazy about them anymore. But they were fun.
Sorry about that.
But no, it wasn't you. It was because it was hard for me. So, because I had to wait for people to answer, and I talk over people all the time, and it was too hectic. Never know. We might try it another, but it got 3 of my favorite people together at a time, that kind of thing. So for that, it was good. Tell us what's been going on with you.
I don't know. In Ontario, it took us a long time, but I would say things are really starting to get back to normal now, and I'm getting back into all my regular activities. I play piano for a children's choir. I volunteer in a food bank. All those things are starting up and getting busy. And yeah, just, cranking out the cards, cranking out the videos.
Right, right. You are a YouTuber's YouTuber.
Well, I try to have a video up each week. So yeah, and like Monday, after a video goes live on Friday, all of a sudden it's Monday and I'm scurrying to get the next one going. So
Do you plan like weeks in ahead, months in ahead, or over the weekend and just go, oops, I got to do something?
a bit of both. A bit of both. I have a planner program app, I guess, called Trello. And I keep all sorts of ideas and kind of loose plans there. And as I get closer, I kind of order them when I think I'll do what, but it's largely in the week. I know what my idea is, but then I have to come up with the actual cards I'm going to make and how I'm going to present the story behind the cards and why am I making the cards? Why am I making them that way? Is it a technique? Is it using limes? Is it, whatever the story is to kind of bring it all together.
Limes was the thing that I caught you saying on the YouTube thing that when I was just scrolling around, I went, this girl is a thinker. She understands understanding cards. I've got to meet her. And so it's over. We should have some limeade someday. I don't know. It seems like an appropriate thing. But your limes is basically a way of looking at a card, discerning some of the high points that you want to try or not try, reinterpret or not use. And it's just, what are those? LIMES stands for?
List. So you start by listing all the attributes of the card. Then you decide which ones to include, which ones to modify, which ones to exclude. And then the S, it's kind of optional. I call that spin. And for me, like I might make it into a 4 1/4 inch card because that's my favorite format and one of kind of my signatures, I guess. So it's just a way of kind of adding things into the card that you would like to do that maybe weren't inspired by the card itself. But they make it more like you. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I thought it was brilliant, and I love how this girl thinks. You're an accountant by training.
I love a good acronym. Love a good acronym.
Well, did you hear my new acronym, LITS?
LITS?
Later in the show? It just fits so well.
Yeah.
But I will say that I feel like you're just one of my best crafty friends because we were all in lockdown together, and so I was seeing no one, and I was seeing my guest crafters, and so, but some of you, I just really resonated with me, and I just really liked you, which makes me, I'm going to go ahead and jump to a patron question, and I have a lot of patron questions for you later, but I'm going to jump to one, and because I think it's appropriate here. Kathy Morris, our patron, asks, Ardyth, when you were a beginning paper crafter, how did you meet crafty friends? And see, we got to meet over limes.
It's true. No, I have to think way, way back. The first time I made a card was at a Stampin' Up! Party, and I think probably a lot of people here in the same boat. And my cousin had invited me to that. And then back in the day, there was this thing, and it still exists, but not many people know about it anymore. But back in the day, in 2006, it was the card making community hub called Split Coast Stampers. And it's an online gallery, and it's a huge community. We have weekly challenges. I'm a hostess for one of the weekly challenges. There's forums where you can go in and learn it's really full of really great information. It's just, it's a pretty old kind of dinosaur thing. So it's not the easiest thing to intuitively figure out. There are still a lot of people there, but I think many of us are kind of the oldies who've been around for a while. That I met a number of people through that. I just started blogging and people started reaching out to me. And I'm trying to think, I was asked to be on a challenge design team very early on, and from someone in Iowa. It was her challenge, but she also had someone else from Toronto on the design team. So that was my first real crafty friend. We got together for lunch. I remember we're still best crafty friends. We talk pretty much every day, go to each other's houses. We haven't for a while, but we will be soon. And it just kind of grew from there.
Isn't that sweet? And
Yeah.
But it's so nice to have something in common with somebody.
Absolutely.
Like that.
Absolutely. And it's great. It's great to have in real life friends that you can get together. That's absolutely great. But as we've seen through the pandemic, having the online friends and having friends all over the world it's really unique. I think to an industry like this, where we start with this one common interest and love, and make so many friends. I'm always saying, oh yeah, my friend in Germany, or my friend in Australia, or my friend here, or my friend there. And it's just really been a great thing, both online and in real life.
Yep. I was telling a friend of mine a week or so ago that I had a place now that we could stay when we go to Scotland, because we always talk about going to Scotland. And she was like, really? You do? Well, Leslie Oman. Yeah, we can go up to the Highlands and hang out. It'll be great.
Is she in the Highlands? My mother-in-law's in the Borders, so you could go there too.
There you go. I'll make a list. Yeah, she's up in just east of Inverness.
Okay.
Where my people are from. So anyway, yeah, when one was a king, King Macbeth.
My goodness.
But he just got some bad press. I'm sure they're all rotten.
Somebody
was saying I should go back to Scotland and get my crown. I said, you know what happened to the last Mary Queen of Scots? I don't think I want to replay that one. But anyway, that was that. Well, all right. We've got to get some crafting done here tonight. But we're so glad to have you. I always enjoy our conversation, and you always surprise me with what you come up with for a card. So we are going to celebrate here a little bit, because we want to celebrate those people that have sent in cards week after week after week, Patty Beck, and those people that are just joining us and all that kind of things. But we want to know, Ardyth wanted to know, you had a question.
I do. What is Craft Roulette?
Let's find out. I'm so glad.
What is Craft Roulette? Craft Roulette is a live paper crafts challenge show where the goal is to complete a project that has been randomly selected by the spin of a wheel. There are 4 categories we spin for: project, colors, element, and random. Each category has 24 possible options, with a combined possibility of 331,776 unique projects. Whoa. We're live every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Central on youtube.com/craftroulette. Please like and subscribe. Each week we bring on a special guest crafter to create along with us and share their unique take on the challenge. You can play too. Complete a unique project of your own using the same 4 parameters set in this episode. You'll have 48 hours to contribute by submitting pictures of your project through the submission form on craftroulette.live. Contributions are featured on marygunfund.com's weekly episode blog and the next episode. Let's recap last week's episode and submissions.
I'm back. See, I can't see myself in the corner. I can see the big picture there. The big picture. For once in my life, I can see the big picture, not the detail. Anyway, I am the detail. It looks like Corinne is getting a little bit of love, and I really... Surprise! We're having a surprise party over here on Craft Roulette for you. So that's cool. That's great. We thank you so much for checking in and saying happy birthday to her. So we're big celebrators. That's part of our culture, you know? We're celebrators. Anyway, so we are going to celebrate on our achievement board. Last week, let's see, look at you guys all over the world. We're back in Asia, the United Arab Emirates. What? Yes. And that was our second time with Jordana. I'm getting my syllables all syllabically wrong. Still very, very many people in the east coast of the United States and going right up into Canada. And guess who's down there in South America? There's Chris. You are steady. We're always glad to see everybody from all over join us because it's just so much fun to know you. Like Ardyth was talking about our international crafting friends. It's a great group. So we had 137 cards sent in last week, and so we're getting pretty close to 10 grand. That's a lot of cards. Oh my gosh. 9,508 cards totally submitted to Craft Roulette since March 2020. This, I think, was our first show. Our parameters were a tag with pocket. We had to choose a team, like our favorite color plus 2 other colors, and our Craft Roulette neutrals. The element was light. I'm thinking you guys had some fun thinking up the light. Mine was light as a feather. You can see the feathers in the background. And then we had to add a black and white image. I had mine as the cup. Anyway, we did talk about these cards over on Fun University on Tuesday night on our sister YouTube channel. Guess what it's called? Fun University. And we do talk about the parameters and some of the cards that came in on those Tuesday night shows. That was mine. And it was cute. The tags came out of the cups. I liked it. We had a lovely guest, Leslie Oman from Scotland, but she's Irish, and she made this really cute card, complete with the Pear Blossom Press lights, and she just did great. Look at that little tag hanging off her little jack-o'-lantern, and lights in the house. Man, that was a good card. It was also her first time to send in a card, so I hope it won't be her last. She is quite a cardster, and we were delighted to meet her, weren't we? Yep. Next part is all on slides. We're going to celebrate first-timers. Our illustrious Zero Heroes. Those are the people that have sent in cards that 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. Our leading ladies of the week, Club 52 members. And if we had any, we would be celebrating our Mug Club. But we don't have a new Mug Club member this week, but we are going to get one in about 3 weeks, I'm thinking. It's like expecting a baby. So let's see what we have to celebrate. One of our first timers is Cindy Lauderdale. C. Laud, I think she's here tonight. Well done. Thank you. Glad to have you. Leslie Smith from Nebraska sent in her first card. See how her tag pulls out? So many clever things. Donna Nipper, which I love your name, from Illinois, sent in her first card too. Really sweet. Nice. Who can go wrong with a penguin? Our first Zero Hero is a tenor with Sarah Starkoska. Very cute. Mary Lynn Moore sent in 10. She has sent in 10 cards. So cool. From Nova Scotia. I'm not sure if we have all the provinces. Amanda Stevens has sent in 20. She's our Pear Blossom Press woman. Hers lights up. Roberta Sadler, Mrs. Birthday Bob, from Mississippi, has sent in 30 cards. Outstanding. Marie Bland from Perth, Australia, has sent also in 30 cards also. Hers was like a little apron. I love the colors. Jen Zah from New York has also sent in 30. I love how many styles you guys come up with. Kendra Morgan from Florida, I'm glad to see you're here safe and sound, has sent in 30 cards. Susie Fick from Illinois has sent in 40. I thought this was cool with the Fleur in the lighthouse. Well done. Larissa Woolley, who's been around us for a long time, so fun, 40 cards. Well done, Larissa. Lynn Darda, who is in the first 10 submitters of Craft Roulette, has sent in 40 cards. Well done. She's in that gallery. Wendy Jarvis from Florida has sent in 80. I hope you're doing okay, Miss Wendy and Fred. Smurf Murphy is tied for our leader at 92 cards. Amazing. She's tied with Jackie Muller from South Australia, also 92 cards. You girls, I just am so Loving watching you. Kathy Herring from Wisconsin has sent in 96 cards. She's getting close to Mug Club. Alyssa Lamone, sometimes known as 5K, has sent in 98. Ellen Card Monkey Jarvis is our second in line for our leading ladies, and she has sent in 109 consecutive cards. Patty Beck, 126, week after week. Never stopping. We have 2 new Club 52 members, Sylvia Podrazik from the UK. Super cool card. Laura Ellis, also from the UK, has sent in this card. She is now a member of Club 52, where there are no perks, no exclusive lounges, no secret handshakes, no discounts at your local barber, nothing. Just appreciation from your Craft Roulette everybody's. The Craft Roulette culturers and culturettes. We need a secret handshake. We do. All right. So maybe we can think of one, Ardyth. It should have something to do with stamping. All right. Well, let's get back to it. Congratulations, all. Thank you so much for sending in those cards week after week and joining us. You too can join us. We'll tell you how later. That's right. There's KYB salute. That would be one. Well, we do kind of have our secret head kiss. We do. That's kind of our handshake, you know. You see somebody with the merchandise on, right? And you're walking down the street, or you're walking in Michael's, and you just go like this. And they know. They know. Yep, we kiss our brains around here. It's part of our culture. It's all on craftroulette.live too, if you want to know the histories. So, what do you think? Those are some outstanding cards. Before the show, you were really studying them.
I was. I can't believe, like always, I'm always amazed at how people take the same 4 parameters, that's the word, and then come up with so many different cards.
Mm-hmm. So many. It's like you expect everybody at a buffet to bring the same thing that you brought. It's like, oh no, everybody's going to bring meatloaf, but only one person brings it. And then sometimes you go, I knew this was coming, this particular part of the style or something, but then only one person will do it. And you think, oh, wow, I'm so glad they did it because it's a great representation of the parameters, but I thought everybody would do it. But yeah, it's very cool. And we have people that are drawing their entries and different things and painting, trying different things, all sorts of stuff. And so it's very cool. We have families that are crafting together. This week on Fun University, I take one of the cards and use limes, basically, and recreate it. And the card that was randomly chosen was Greg York. He's the husband of Anna York, who sends in cards almost every week. She's like on a Star Wars kick, and I think she's up to 16 Star Wars kicks. That's her 5th parameter. And then her daughters have also sent in cards, Emma and Elise, and they've actually been on our Zoom calls too. So it's a whole family, and it's just super cool. I think it's great. What else to do on a Friday night with youngsters, right? We're cheap. If you have crafting stuff already, we're cheap. But anyway, so, all right. Well, I think we can probably start talking about, we are going to talk about using stamps. We were talking before the show, Mr. Producer wants to make sure we talk about using stamps. So, but let's get to the parameters first so we can start seeing what we're going to work with. This is the part where my stomach starts getting butterflies. Yeah, we're going to spin the wheel for a project, color, element, and random. All the things that we're going to do tonight on the show, plus you'll be able to do, and then we will show your cards on the show. But out of all of, you remember that little what is Craft Roulette and that 331,776 whatever, those are the combinations of those parameters. That's how many combinations we could get. So it's not likely that we're ever going to get a card that we got last week. Well, it's absolutely impossible because I've taken those parameters off. But, so not only is it not likely, we do let our patrons veto 3 parameters each week. That means we won't be letting the wheel boss us and make those things, such as if they have vetoed strawberry fields for colors. Number 6. That means the wheel can't make us use the traditional colors that you would use in a strawberry field, or see in a strawberry field, like red, green, pink, brown, blue skies, that kind of thing. It can't make us limit ourselves to those colors. The wheel also, good move on this one, patrons, sheets. They don't want sheets. Number 14. And they don't want crumpled paper. Number 3 for random. That means if we land on those, we're going to spin again and find out something else. Now, if you want to use those things, like if you want to crumple some paper, you can if you want to. But it just means that we don't all have to do it. Right?
It just means you can't.
Right. It doesn't say you can't if it fits the parameters that we do get. But we're not all obliged to do those things. We're going to spin again. So this is the time when we asked Ardyth. I looked back in the veto record, and the only veto that I had a record for, I wasn't keeping good track in the early days, because who thought it would go on this long? So was purse card. That was the only thing that you had vetoed that I have a record of. So this is the time. Veto now or forever hold your peace.
Well, I think I'm going to have to veto the purse card again.
You are solid with that. I think that's fine. Yeah. That is an instant crowd pleaser. So, except for Ellen. She'll still like you though, because
sorry, Ellen.
She'll probably make a purse card anyway, so it's all okay.
Yeah, just because it's veto doesn't mean you can't do it.
It just means we don't.
It doesn't mean I have to do
it. No, we will do it someday, but not tonight. Not tonight. So let's give this guy a warm up. Oh, Ellen says, love Ardyth, but and for a project, what are we gonna do? I know it is the most maligned purse card. Number 8, we are going to do a slimline, not your fave, but we will do a slim. Not your fave, not my fave either. Colors, but we will soldier on. Hey, Bitty Penny. Purple and orange +1, plus our Craft Roulette neutrals, which are black, gray, tan, brown, craft, white, cream, and we throw in metallics because we're so nice. And for element on that slim line with purple and orange +1, I feel there's going to be lots of Halloween-y cards again. 16 sacks. Sack or sacks?
What?
Always a...
What is that?
Oh, what is that? I don't know. We're going to have to figure it out. And then random. You can't leave, though. Okay, so if we have purple and orange, we might have some trick-or-treater type things. Sequins or gems. Okay, that one's easy.
Okay.
That one's easy. Sacks. That is not spelled the same as Saks Fifth Avenue either. Okay, so let's break this bad boy apart. Slimline. Why don't you like Slimline? I just don't care for them personally too much. But why don't... You're square. You like square.
I like my little square. I have actually, there's some good reasons and some not so good reasons. I can't get my head around that big long thing. And let me ask you, am I okay to do a mini slimline? Because that's like, or does it have to be slimline?
Mr. Producer is saying that's still a slimline. It doesn't say a long slimline.
So my dumb reason for not liking slimlines is they are really hard to photograph well. Like, how do you position it in a photo?
Mm-hmm. It doesn't photograph well. It's kind of like your Aunt Bertha, you know. She just doesn't take a good picture. So it's just kind of like that. Yeah, you just can't get a good picture of it. You're right. I
Yeah.
never really thought about that, but
No,
you're
but
right.
I can't get my head around all that real estate, what to do with it all. So
Yeah. So a
slimline, okay.
slimline. So a slimline, a mini slimline is generally, I have it written down because I never make them, so I never think of them. A slimline is like 8.5 or 8 by 3.5, and then a mini slimline is 3.5 by 6.5, somewhere in there. It's 3 by 6, 3.5 by 6. They're both a little longer and skinnier than most. So that's kind of what they are. Yeah, they fit into business size letters or like the smaller business size letters, envelopes.
Number 8, I think. Yeah.
So that's a number. I can't remember numbers worth a hoot. They will put me in the old people's home because I won't, if it's a test on memory and it's a like remember these numbers. I won't. They'll just say get the white socks on her and let's put her into bed because I won't remember. It's not a good test. So that's slimline. We can handle it. We'll be fine. Yep. Especially, I'm glad you asked about the mini slimlines. Purple and orange +1.
Yeah, I'm good
Team
with
purple,
that.
Team orange, we're good. And then whatever you want to add with it. Do you like blue, green, red, green? What do you? You can have shades. You can have shades of all those things.
I'm thinking kind of a fall card, so I'm thinking I'll probably go either yellow to orange to purple or orange to red to purple.
You're like such an ink blender.
I'm an ink blender, and I've been working on blending complementary colors. So this is right up my current alley. So
that's cool. That's cool. And have you been working with sacks?
I have not been working with sacks. It wouldn't occur to me to work with a sack.
You know, when you were talking about fall color or fall things, and I thought sacks of leaves.
It seems so obvious now. I don't think I would have come up with that. And you said Halloween too, like the trick-or-treaters.
Trick-or-treater bags. Shopping bags.
This is what happens to me every time. I get 3 that I can work with, and then there's 4 that I'm just like, I have no idea what to do.
So let's come up with ideas.
So let's help everybody, and we'll find some people out in the chatterbox to give us some ideas on sacks too.
I see a backpack.
You could have bag in French is sac, so it could be a purse card.
Ellen, there's your purse.
It could work. How about using a brown paper bag for the card base?
Okay. I don't have a brown paper bag.
Santa's bag would work. Glassine bag would work. A little candy bag that isn't a card because it doesn't say. Well, we have slimline. It doesn't work. It couldn't stand by itself. Luminaries on a card that would work. Burlap bags, purse card. Sharon from the red chair.
Seems to me like if I vetoed purse, I should be able to veto purse in all languages.
We'll take that up at the next staff meeting. Oh gosh, a shaker. Using it part of a sack, kind of as a shaker, you could make a cutout in a sack with little tokens in there. I can't think of what they'd be called. Okay, I think there's going to be lots of different sacks.
Okay.
Santa's.
It sounds like a stamp, though, doesn't it?
I don't know if there's a lot of sack. There should be. Hey, you guys that are stamp company owners, can you make a digital stamp set right now with a bunch of sacks? That would be great. We'd really appreciate it. Chiffon drawstring bag as dresses. Mercy. Kim Bright, that would be something. You could put little pieces of bag or sack. Plastic sack. You could use a plastic sack to crinkle inkle. Or
like a technique with a sack. Oh, you guys are so smart.
Yeah.
Okay, good, because my brain freezes when I get to this part.
That's what this screen is for.
That's why we're sitting here doing this. We don't want you to freeze. But if you do freeze, you do have a jacket there. A sack of apples. Yeah, but it's too hot. It's too hot at this point. She's got a beautiful hoodie. That's a Craft Roulette hoodie.
Let me put it on for a minute.
Okay, let's model our Craft Roulette merch. This is the Founders Club. Craft is a sack color. That's an interesting take. Looky there. Isn't that good looking? Craft Roulette right there on that black hoodie. And it's got a great big one on the back. So they know that you're there, coming or going. That you are going to be kissing your brain as you walk by them. That's right.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah, get that thing off. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you had like a burlap, you could make it fold it into a little sack and then stick like
I think I got an idea. I think I got an idea.
Oh, I like that. I don't. And then sequins or gems, those are going to be pretty easy. Right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. That's kind of that little leftover thing. So, yeah, there's usually kind of a freebie, and that's kind of my freebie. Flour sack. I like that.
Oh,
like
that's what I was going to do. Okay. I thought I was so smart I came up with a sack of flowers, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, no, this is flour, Flour.
Oh, no, I'm doing FLOWER.
Yes.
And they're going to be orange and red and yellow, or orange and purple and
that's
red.
That's going to be perfect.
There you go.
That's going to be perfect. All right. Okay, well, we are going to get our supplies while you get a treat from A Word About Fun University. We'll be right back. Hot dog, let's do this. Do you find crafting hard? Are you stuck on one of those pesky parameters? You feel like the wheel is watching you while you craft? We have the solution for you. Hi, I'm Mary Gunfun. While I'm busy gathering my supplies, I just wanted to tell you about my other YouTube channel, youtube.com/fununiversity. We break down the parameters and talk about them at a more in-depth level. We also pick one tricky one to concentrate on and do a deep dive into it. But that's not all. We do our mail call every week on the channel as well. So if you wanted to send me a card or a package, send it to this address and I'll share it on the show. We're live almost every Tuesday night on youtube.com/fununiversity. We also do some celebration there because we will review our last week's achievement board. That's youtube.com/FUNN University. No easy or complicated payments, no COD. Just show up and have fun. If you have too much fun, please call a friend immediately and invite them over to have fun with you. Normal postage and handling rates do apply. This ad was not paid for by anybody. We hope Mary is ready because I can't stretch this out any longer. Now back to the show. I'm here. I'm here. I think this is going to be fun. And so if you're just tuning in, we've already gone spinning for our parameters, and those parameters are slimline, they can be mini or the regular long ones, purple and orange plus one, other color plus our Craft Roulette neutrals, which do not include blue, and or green or whatever you want like that, sack or sacks, and there's tons of great ideas in the chatterbox and in the conversation we just had after the spins. So, and then you have to throw in some sequins. Those are easy. Lots of great ideas on the sack and sacks. That's not the kind of sacks like this either. That's not the instrument. They're not spelled the right way. So, Ardyth is working on getting her supplies ready, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to announce the October spin sponsors, because I'm going to use a stamp set from one of the October spin sponsors. This is from Sweet November Stamps, and it's these little cute girls and fairy type girls. They're fairies, I think, playing in leaves. And so I'm going to just put in a sack of leaves in the background. I'm feeling pretty smart. And that's going to be what I'm going to use. We also have another October spin sponsor, which the cards that are sent in this weekend, and then if you're a patron until Thursday night, we'll be getting gift certificates from these two companies, the Sweet November Stamps, thank you very much, and iCrafter. So those are going to be good. They'll be a good month. I think you guys will have fun. I wish you could all win them all, but that doesn't work that way. But I think we're going to have you guys are going to have so much fun with this. They're fairies. Yes, I think you're right. Fairies. Yes. Falling into fairies. You're right. So, I have cut a 3.5 by 6 is what I'm going to start with. And soon as Ardyth is ready, she'll come back in and tell us what wonderful things she's going to do. Because you know it's going to be wonderful. Oh, she's ready. All righty. What are you thinking?
So I'm thinking that my neutral color will be craft. It looks like yours is as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna have to hand cut my flower sack, but I'm gonna do some ink blending and then cut these flowers and just do like a little, almost like a bouquet in a vase, but the vase is a sack.
That'll be cute. That'll be just a little bit quirky and different.
Yeah. Like a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, you know. Do you remember Donnie and Marie?
I kind of miss Donnie and Marie.
I'm a little bit country.
Yeah, I don't know. They were just, I think they were in your generation's a little younger than my generation. So, yeah. And I think you were more into them. But I have watched it Joseph Friday and his many. You did what?
Oh, yes, Joseph.
It's one of my favorite musicals. This is the whole stamp set,
Rose
Lee.
Doverstein says, can a Christmas... I think it fills the role of a sack.
Well, you know what, Rose? Mr. Producer says that you can thank me for this, because for their Christmas stockings, I always stuffed them way too much, so I have just started using Santa sacks. And they're just big sacks that I sewed, and they're I just put a bunch of stuff in them and tie them up. They don't have their stockings anymore. They just get Santa sacks. So he says, yes, that's okay. What is the definition of a sack, after all?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But there's the little set. It's cute. It's really cute. I did something with it, and I'm not sure where it is. But it was a fold-out kind of thing. So if I put this here, and then I can just perhaps draw in a bag. Yes, Joseph was one of my favorite plays. And if I hear somebody's name is Joseph, I can't stop myself. I have to go, Joseph. So
Not
that was really
go,
my...
Joseph.
Oh, yeah. I love that. Yes, I do.
They're such great, all those musicals are so great for kids, right?
Right. Can you tell me, Mr. Pharaoh Man? That was the play that I did when I was running a youth theater. That was my first. So I heard it a lot. All those songs. A lot. So many times.
That's a cute stamp.
It is adorable. It is from Sweet November Stamps. I'm trying to find my little project that I did with it, but I don't know where it went. Now, Ardyth, you are such an organized person. You never lose anything, do you?
Never. I've never lost the Y
it.
in one of my my alphabet die sets, so that I had to buy the set again.
See, I knew it.
Because if you don't have a Y, you can't do joy, merry, happy, you.
You are right.
Yeah. So
you are
I
up
figured,
a creek.
I figured that by buying it, I would find it. But I still, to this day, have not found that Y. So I have one alphabet where I have 2 of every letter except Y.
That's kind of handy, though.
It is so handy.
Yeah. I'm going to go in a little bit because this is so detailed.
I mean, I get that they're expensive, but it's so helpful sometimes. Again, for happy or merry, it's really good to have 2 letters.
Right. Happy, especially. You use those a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a bad thing that you lost that Y then, especially if it was the stamp set that you loved and die that you loved. Speaking of dies, before the show, Ardyth and I were talking, and you were saying that you really haven't stamped much in a long time.
No.
I think I've been funny?
I think I've been focusing on techniques a lot, and I still stamp my sentiments.
Right.
But I don't stamp in color a lot lately. That's been a big difference.
Because you've been working on backgrounds so much.
I've been working on backgrounds, and I've been working with my gel plate, and I finally got over my fear of acrylic paint, and I've been really enjoying working with acrylic paint on my gel plate.
Okay.
And stencils and ink blending. I've really been working on my ink blending skills. Which are
pretty high anyway.
Well, I mean, I've been practicing for a long time, and I'm really happy with my inks. And I think that, once you have the inks that you like and you start practicing, you'll just get really good at them. At whatever skill you're doing.
Yeah, it's hard to be really proficient at first glance.
Oh,
and
for
first
sure.
Blush. And if you are, we don't really want to meet you because you're going to be... We have struggled so much that it was just like, oh no, we're so glad for you. Yeah. But you did start with stamping, so you still have a few stamps, right?
I do. Yeah, I've been really paring down in my craft room, trying to really get down, just like you might do in your closet, really get down to my favorite things that I use over and over and over again. If you go through my Instagram feed or my grid, you'll see a lot of the same sentiments and die cuts over and over again, because I'm not working for companies anymore. I'm just really using what I love. So
I was thinking today, just before the show, when I was kind of looking at the parameters and things, and I was wondering how many stamp sets I've actually used on all the 131 cards that I've made for the show.
Oh.
And I don't know that I'll ever go back and count, but there's not that many.
No.
I tend to have my favorites. And, I bet a lot of the viewers would know which ones they are, too. They could probably tell me more than I would know, because it's just something I'm used to. But they're used to, when you see it, then it's different than doing it. And, yep, I got a feeling I haven't used that many.
That's one of those statistics that you wouldn't think of keeping, but you do wonder after a while.
I know. I have so many spreadsheets. I did a post in our Patreon about how many spreadsheets I have already. And you'd be proud as an accountant. I've got like 6 spreadsheets, and some of them have sub spreadsheets. They get really ridiculous. But
Wow.
like I said, I keep track of the vetoes,
Mm-hmm.
and but I didn't at first because I didn't have any idea that it might go on this long and that it would be useful information. But it has
Did you
turned
really?
out to be kind of. How's
Did
that?
you really think that it wouldn't go on this long?
I had no idea. It's all kind of been an amazing thing to me. So
Yeah.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Did you set a goal, like this is how we'll, on this day we'll look at these factors, like how many views, how many people play along, and decide whether or not it's a success? Or have you just kind of gone, oh, people still seem to come, so we'll keep doing it?
We just keep coming back. That's
Yeah.
really it hasn't been anything very much more scientific than that. It's just been, well, there's still people that like us, and let's just do it. We've never even talked about quitting. So we've talked about, oh my gosh, we're so far in debt with this show. but that was only after the first 2 years, because I was still in denial. But after the second tax return and seeing it again, it was like, whoa, we need to change some things. So,
Right.
yeah. But other than that, no, we never really thought, let's just keep doing it. So now, personally, I would have quit probably a long time ago. Anytime I'd had any kind of little setback where my feelings got hurt or something like that, or, oh no, she said no, I'm quitting. But I get this Mr.
Who hurt your
Producer.
feelings, Mary? I want to beat them up.
I don't have any idea that anybody has at this point. I've forgotten all about it. But you know what I mean?
Good.
Some offhand comment that I've misunderstood. It's probably all my thinking.
Right.
But I have Mr. Producer to say, you just can't let that bother you. Let's keep moving on.
Yeah.
So
I had somebody comment on my video the other day that, and she said that her granddaughter does a better job coloring in the lines, and that I stink at ink blending.
Well,
I know.
maybe. Wow.
She was upset because
she was just upset and kicking the
she
dog
felt
with it.
like
She
I
was
was
closest
wasting
by.
ink.
Oh, well, she's a pleasant one, isn't she? Oh, my goodness.
So I just asked her to go, please find someone else to watch.
Oh, man. That's tough. That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Stuff.
You know what? I stink at a lot of things. I'm not too worried about it. We're all learning. And,
yes.
I know who I am, and I know what I can do. And I don't really worry too much about what other people say. But I just am amazed that people feel like they've got time to do that kind of thing.
Yeah. She was just looking for somebody to be mean to.
Yeah. Just don't say anything.
Right.
You don't have
That's
to
how
say
we were
anything.
raised. That's right.
So,
well, I do have a
YouTube
bunch
is free.
of. They think they're hiding, and they can say stuff like that. She'd never say that to your face, I hope. I don't think so. But we do have a lot of Patreon questions. So I'm going to start getting those, because you always give such good answers. I don't want to miss a single one of them. So,
Okay.
But before we do, I want you to tell me about your Case Me a Christmas card that's coming up, because I see Michelle Lupton in the group here. So if you could give us a little synopsis of what that is, because nobody's going to want to miss that.
Okay, well, Michelle has done this for quite a while. For a number of years, she has asked people to work with her, and we each choose. So I chose a card of Michelle's, and Michelle chose a card of mine, and we made cards that were inspired by each other. And so she does this every year, and she does, I don't know, 10 or 15 people every year. And the last 3 years, I've been lucky enough to be asked to do the kickoff with her. So I'm the first one this year, and those videos, mine and Michelle's, they went live earlier today. So they're on our channels if you want to watch them. And this actually was this series that Michelle does is what prompted me to come up with limes, because I thought, we're all inspired by each other, and we don't want to copy each other directly. So how can we, kind of systemize, me, I like systems and acronyms. How can we remember how to be inspired, but still make it kind of our own? And that's when I came up with the LIMES acronym. So like 3 years ago today, 2 years ago today was LIMES debut on in this series on my channel and Michelle's channel.
Oh, well, congratulations. It's a little anniversary. I like that.
It is. So yeah.
That is very exciting.
Yeah, it's great. It's one of my favorite. I like participating, but I also love seeing what Michelle does with all the other friends that she has, because they always make beautiful cards inspired by each other. Not enough water on that. Yeah.
Well, that will be a fun thing to watch. I also want to mention that tomorrow is National Galactic Card Making Day or something. It's really big. It's like the entire universe is going to participate and make cards, but which is lovely. And I think, yay for us to all get to be a part of that. But Pear Blossom Press is having a hop, and I don't want anybody to miss out on that. I've shared it, and but I don't want anybody to miss out on that either. So make sure that you check them out. They've got some of our favorite crafters that it will be involved. So many that you will have seen right here on Craft Roulette. So that'll be exciting. Yeah, it's a big day tomorrow. I'm not going to do anything. And I'm okay. I'm just going to sit back and watch everybody else craft. It's going to be delightful. So,
well, I think you've done your part, because this is World Card Making Eve. So
it.
You've done your part.
We're doing the kickoff show. We're the warm up.
Exactly.
We're the warm up band. So you're right. We have done our part. There's my little leaf. I'm going to cut out that so that goes around it a little bit. I think it looks a little big. It's okay. We're going to be okay. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Maybe I want to... Let me just cut this out. What the heck? So Kathy Morris, who asked us something earlier, also asks, Ardyth, where do you get your inspiration most often? Most often is a kind of a quantifier there.
That's an interesting thing. I spend a lot of time looking at other people's cards. I spend a lot of time looking at quilts. I spend a lot of time looking at things like geometry and color on Pinterest.
Oh my.
And then when I go to sit down and make cards for a video, I'm often just inspired by whatever the mishmash is in my brain and whatever product I've decided to use. Right. So whatever, I'm doing, I'm just working on a video for next week, which is about color, but I decided that I would use some stencils, some 3x6 stencils, which actually would be perfect for a mini slim card. But I think a lot of people might wonder, why would you buy a 3x6 stencil? But there's lots of ways you can use them, even on regular size cards. So I'm kind of, so I really let the products inspire me on that one. But I mean, I've got all that mishmash of Pinterest and stuff in my brain. So I don't always directly say, like, I don't always use limes and really analyze what I'm doing. But sometimes I do, especially if I'm specifically inspired by a card. I try to use limes for that, just so that I can demonstrate how it's different from that person's card. Okay.
That makes
I've got
sense.
my card base.
Should
I've
that
got
fox
this
be?
frame.
Hmm.
Oh gosh, don't tell me. Oh, look at that. I don't know how big a
Let's see. We've
slimline
got
card is.
slimline. Oh,
A
3.5 by 6. 3.5 by 6.5, something like that is what I have written
This
out.
is
The envelope is like 3.5 by 6.5. I
okay.
think.
So this one looks like it's 6.25 by 3.5.
That should work. Or 3.25 should work. I feel like I should do something like that particularly. Well, I just got some
Okay.
cream paper.
All right.
I did go to my paper boyfriend's place today, Michael's.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and I went with my girls, which was double fun because we haven't done anything together in forever. So, this is super thick. So it was a nice outing.
Nice. I haven't been to Michael's in a long time.
Well, let me tell you, they were buying the pumpkins like they were going out of style.
Oh, yeah.
All that stuff on sale and everything. Maybe we should do some ink blending on that. Orange. How are my colors doing? Orange, purple, and 1 green. Okay, I'm okay with those. I could do some brown, maybe purple. Purple. I have another question. J. Thomas, this one will be kind of easy, maybe. Let's see. J. Thomas, patron, asks, what's your favorite fancy fold?
I would say a Z fold, a Z fold. I'll just translate from Canadian for you.
We got Z fold when the Boons were on. So I was speaking Canadian too.
I like that because it's easy. It doesn't take any extra cardstock, and it's it's simple but unexpected.
Right, it's just a little something that makes it special. That's how I kind of feel about it. Just
Remember when my friend Laurel was on and she couldn't figure out how to fold her Z fold card?
That's still one of my favorite pictures. Was her face when we got Z or Z fold. And she just was like, what is that?
Yeah.
That silly girl.
Funny. She just, it's like, you get a mental block and you cannot push through it.
Right, right. But, that has also shown that part of this show with the guest crafters, that has proven to be a great part of the show, I think, because we have this crazy notion that if you're on YouTube, you know everything. And, this is not true. And so it's pretty nice to see, hey, we all have to learn.
Oh, yeah. We're just crafters like you with a camera.
That's true.
That's it.
That's all it is. It is. It's true. So it's the same thing that you're doing at your own. You just don't have a camera, which probably has its benefits.
Well, all right. I'm
okay.
going to emboss this, so you might get my die cutting machine.
How are you guys in the chatterbox doing? I'm sure glad. I see the little movement over there, so I know you're chatting. Sandy Boone, that was such a fun night. Travis is such a card maker. I bet you can hardly keep him out of your craft room now. Okay, I may be exaggerating. I do have some other little foxes. Maybe I can add them to cover up that leaf bag a little bit. It's not a very pretty leaf bag. Yeah, I think I'll add another fox. Come here. What time is it, Mr. Fox? So Ardyth is always just so informative, isn't she? I just love it.
Oh, I'm just happy to share my opinion about all sorts of things.
Well, it's a good thing. We appreciate it because
Yeah.
you're interesting.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm happy to share my thoughts. I know that the way I do things isn't going to work for everybody, but I think it's interesting to hear how everybody does things differently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to freehand this sack.
Okay, you can do it. We believe in you. We are clapping. I free-handed mine. It doesn't look great. I may end up doing it out of this paper instead. But I thought it would have a better... I don't know. We'll see. I thought it would have more texture that way, and I believe it does, but I don't...
Oh, yours looks good.
Yeah. Kind of... Yeah, thank you. I'll just say thank you.
Okay.
Kathy Pisupati asks, oh, Ardyth Memory Lane, what was your first stamp?
It was, I'm thinking back to that Stampin' Up! Party. I think I ordered an alphabet, thinking that
See,
would
we're smart
give me
even
luck.
then.
Yeah. Well, and also at that point, I didn't realize that you could color in images. Or I had seen that you could, but I had no idea how to do it. So I think that, and I ordered the Bold Brights family of inks. I don't know if Stampin' Up! Still has Bold Brights, but they did then.
Oh, that's cute.
It was it called? It was like called the Crazy Alphabet or something. Like every letter was a different font.
Oh, that is crazy.
I wonder if anybody remembers that.
I was never invited to a Stampin' Up! Party.
Oh, well, you were close to my heart or something, right?
Yes, but before that, even. I guess they didn't figure I was very crafty. That's kind of funny. See, I can make this little 3D one. I think I like that better, maybe. So, I don't know. Yep, but I went to a close to my heart party. Except it was dots. Yeah. And I remember the party well. My life was changed when I saw a crimper.
I have a crimper.
I didn't buy it. I wanted to, but I just couldn't bring myself to buy it for $12 or whatever it was. It just seemed extravagant. So
that's why you didn't get invited to a Stampin' Up! Party, Mary.
Because I wouldn't buy things.
Like me, who are going to buy everything in sight.
Well, that may have been something to do with it. Yep. Oh, she's too cheap. Don't invite her. And that's true. That is true. Dina Hiltbrand asks, and this is something you were almost talking about earlier. Did you purge your stash the same way before you became a vlog or blogger and being on design teams? She keeps her stash and enjoys finding new ways to use old items. What about you?
So, I'm not sure I fully understand all the parts of that question. Definitely when I stopped being on design teams, I sold all the stuff that I had to work with that I didn't enjoy working with. That all went. I have some very, very old stamps and dies that I have loved from day one, and I will probably never part with. But yeah, it was easy to get rid of the design team stuff that I didn't enjoy working with.
Yeah. Yeah. Just wasn't it wasn't your style or whatever.
No, well, that's part of the job, right? Is you're selling stuff. You're not buying it, you're selling it. So, yeah.
Yeah. So you make it no matter what.
You have to. You have to make something to show, because you're not really showing yourself even. You're showing the product. And
Right.
so you have to make something that looks good. It doesn't matter if you love it or not. Your job
Mm-hmm.
is to make a card with that set and make it look good. So, now
Yep.
that's not to say that, I hated everything I ever got, but there
Oh
was
no.
stuff that I knew I would never have bought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can if we all like the same thing, that there'd be very small stores, wouldn't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There'd be hardly anything to build a store for. But TJ Maxx's racks are full of different kinds of things.
Mm.
Yeah. Cheryl Jackson, a fellow Canadian, asks, "Where do you purchase your supplies to get the most bang for your buck?" And I got a feeling you may buy quite a few things at Stampin' Up! Parties when you're first starting, but I got a feeling you're a pretty savvy buyer at this point, purchaser.
Yeah, let me think. I, like many Canadians, we have to shop online. There are very few um, brick and mortar stores in Toronto.
Uh-huh.
So I generally buy online. I still buy from Ellen Hudson. I used to be
Mm-hmm.
on her design team. I
Right.
still buy from Catherine Pooler. Um, I shop at Simon Says Stamp. They have the best shipping, um, the cheapest shipping to Canada.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, that's a whole
yeah.
consideration, huh?
Oh, for sure. For sure. And it always takes forever for things to get to Canada too. So it's
Because of customs and things like that.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes you end up paying you don't pay duty, but you do pay sales tax on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they may come and collect at the door the
Oh
50
my
or
goodness.
13%. Oh yeah. Yeah. So, I mean that you have to factor that in um, if you're not shopping in the States. I also have a sister who lives in Virginia. So a couple of times a year when I go to visit her, I start shopping and having it sent to her so that I can pick it up. And then,
Oh, that makes sense. I would too.
yeah.
That is a little bit different than just going down the street to your paper boyfriend Michael's house.
Well, we do have Michael's.
Mm-hmm.
I don't find because I'm doing things on YouTube. I do want
Right.
to use I want to stay current, but with
Mm-hmm.
things that I love. Plus, I
I
still enjoy buying stuff. Um, and
we bought some paper there because my daughter's pastor his and family are leaving their church, and she has befriended some of his little teenage daughters.
oh, nice.
And so they're going to have a surprise scrapbook party for her. So
Fun.
I was helping her pick out some things. She would have been just fine on her own, but I was helping her pick out some things. So it was fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is one thing
So
I'm not particularly good at is arranging flowers.
I was just looking at that, Lee. I think I am going to have to pop him up. Flowers. I went to a flower arranging class one time, and they said the vase, and this is a little bit off, but they said the vase should be a third, the flowers should be 2/3. So you're going to have to go way high if you do that precisely, but I don't think you have to do that.
I don't think I got room for that.
Uh-uh.
Right.
But that's looking really good. And I love the idea of a sack. I do. I think you're pulling it off just like the stone cold pro that you are. Cordelia Alderman, whose comment in the chat box before the show made me laugh. I won't repeat it in case there's people in the room. But it made me laugh. And she says, how do you keep yourself motivated to crank out all those blog posts and YouTube videos?
I don't know how to answer that.
It's kind of just a habit after a while, isn't it?
I just am. Like, I definitely have gone through periods where I have not felt like crafting and where I've taken a break. But I just, I keep thinking, like, I've been doing this. What did I say? 2006 was the Stampin' Up! Party?
Yeah.
I haven't stopped.
Isn't that funny?
So it is funny. There are days where I think, okay, like I need a break. And then I just come back to it. And I don't know if that is partly now because I am just doing what I love. I don't have any commitments other than ones I set myself. Yeah, I don't know. I did do a video last year, like 10 things to do to get your mojo back or something. And I do many of them, like including, if I'm not feeling like I'm feeling very creative, then I just go out and try and encourage others in their creativity. And often, I'm inspired by what they're doing.
Yeah, sometimes just a pep talk, giving somebody else a pep talk works for you too.
Yeah. I don't know about these leaves. I don't.
You kind of have to hear yourself talk sometimes, don't you? Believe in what you're doing. Yeah, I like it. I know sometimes I don't think about it on Fridays. I just know that I'm going to be here, and I don't have to think. Okay, I got to pep myself up and have to listen to motivational tapes or anything. I just know I'm going to be here. And would I like to just sit on the couch and sometimes, but I'm always so glad when I'm here. So it's just one of the, I'd rather be here with you all doing this.
Well, yeah, you do this every week. How do you find, like, do you have no problem with any of the parameters? Or do you have parameters that you
I make them up. So it's kind of like you can't complain about your husband because you picked him and married him. So I can't complain about the parameters because I made them up.
Yeah. Is that the rule? You can't complain about your husband because you picked him? It's your own fault?
Well, I think that's kind of what I thought.
I think you're probably right.
It kind of shows bad judgment on my part if I complain a lot. It's like that's really pointing the finger at me that you chose him, girl. It doesn't come up very often, but that was something I'd thought of a long time ago, especially when I'd hear other people complaining.
That is a very mature attitude.
They shouldn't be talking because they're really pointing the finger back at them that they made a really big mistake. And we do make mistakes sometimes, but
for sure.
That's okay too. Yeah. So anyway, that's that. I have a couple more questions. We are getting some questions in the viewer, but I don't know if we're going to have time because I'm going to have to hit these first because it's kind of my protocol here. But let's see. Sylvia Podrajic, who was a Zero Hero this week. Very, very sweet woman. She is Polish and she lives in the UK. Interesting gal. She does incredible work. But she says, do you still work as an accountant? What amount of time do you spend crafting each day or week? Because, that's a good question too. It's that time thing.
Yeah, I do not work as an accountant anymore, other than my own finances. When my daughter was born, I have been a stay-at-home mom since then. Both my kids are grown now. So my days are really my own. As I say, I do a lot of volunteering. I play piano for a children's choir, and volunteer at the food bank at our church. And so I craft, or I'm in here, I'm either crafting or planning or something crafty pretty much every day, unless, I don't know, maybe 5 days a week. So maybe 2 days a week I'm not in my craft room at all.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Reaching for my gems now.
Oh, I forgot about those. Thank you for saying something.
Yep.
See, I can remember. You can figure out 3 out of 4. I forget that fourth one. And it isn't necessarily the fourth one in the list. It's like I could say purple, orange, sax, sequins. What was the other one?
Yeah, me too.
It's the fourth one that will throw you over. I have 4 kids. I am surprised I remembered that fourth one very often. She may have forgotten more than I. No, she didn't. We didn't forget her. She would have spoken up.
She's the one that got a horse for her birthday.
Mr. Producer just said she's the one that got a horse for her birthday.
Yeah.
Yes,
I have a sister like that too.
Well, they are a good thing to have. They keep us all very jealous. But Carrie Hare asks, if you ever get stuck on a project, what is the best way that you have found to work through it? What helps you get past that sticking point? Oh, those sticking points are so annoying.
I would say the best thing to do is walk away for a while, take a break.
I think everybody says that. I think that is absolutely You're just trying too hard, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, and like you start to get frustrated, which is not a creative thing. So, and if I have a deadline and I have to keep going, sometimes I start over. And usually if I get frustrated, I will finish it. Even if I've made a big mistake, I'll continue with my plan and I'll finish it. And then I'll remake it with everything I've learned.
Oh my, yeah.
So,
that's pretty good dedication.
If you have a 3-step plan and step 1 goes wrong, I kind of go, okay, well, I'm going to do step 2 and step 3 to see what can go wrong there too, that I could then in my next card do it all correctly. Well, often I'm filming, right? So
yeah. And you show those.
Yes, because usually you see my first attempt at making a card. Usually I do not, perfect a card before and then make it, with everything perfect and because it's
polished.
Because it just it takes too long.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah,
I
often get. Yeah.
I often get very excited about what I'm planning to do. And then I just, I don't want to be held back by something boring like planning or even thinking it through. I'm just going to go try it.
Perish the thought.
Exactly.
Just get that ink on the paper for Pete's sake. Let's make it happen.
And the thing is, I do have time, right? So, and I tend to work ahead because I am an accountant and I'm a little OCD that way. So I like to make all my deadlines, my self-imposed deadlines. So I do tend to work ahead so that if I have to redo something, I've got time to do it. So, I mean, I'm not generally sitting down and making a specific card for a specific person. I generally make my cards for my videos. And then when someone's birthday comes, I look through my box of cards and find something that I think will work for them. Sometimes I do have to make specific cards, and that's usually the teenage boys, because those ones don't come naturally to me.
No.
So, all right.
They're
How are those? You see those gems sparkling?
Oh, yes, I can.
They are called Mystic Topaz, and they are actually purple and orange.
Perfect. Couldn't get
are.
much better than that.
Nope.
And you know
And
what? I think you're wrapped up, and I think I'm wrapped up.
That's my card done.
That brings us to the last question, which is Grandma Gay's thoughtful question of the day. We really should have some angel songs or something going, oh, when I do that one. Which Grandma Gay is like a reluctant rock star, too. She is like, no, don't bring so much attention to me, please. But no, too bad. So much for that respect, girl. But anyway, we love Grandma Gay in our group, and she's just a lovely, lovely lady. And she asks, which brings you the most satisfaction? Organizing the project or completing the project, which is actually kind of a second half of what you were just talking about. Kind of how you plan and...
Yeah, no, I enjoy organizing and I enjoy planning, but I really like it when the card comes together. I was working on today, I was filming for next week, and I did 6 cards. I did 6 backgrounds, and I left the one I liked the least till the end to finish the card, and I worked and worked, and I tried this sentiment and this technique and that technique. And then all of a sudden the light bulb went on and I finished it, and it's my favorite of the 6.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that gave me immense satisfaction, because when I had first made it, I thought, oh, that's going to be my problem child this week, because, and it was a bit, because it took me a while to come up with this solution, but just having that kind of bank of ideas in my head, you know, things that I've used in the past that end up working. So, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I think pulling it off is a wonderful thing. I'm a big planner. I love planning.
Oh, I love to plan.
And I have so many plans, and notebook after notebook after notebook of the ideas and things. But, yep. It's nothing like getting it done. Like, I just got this done and I'm happy with this. This is okay. This is just a bit of all right.
I think it's hilarious that we both went with green as our additional color.
You are right. I didn't even notice that. I've been just concentrating. But it'll be fun to see what other people come up with. Reds and corals, peaches. We'll see. Well, corals are kind of orangey. But blues, it'll be all fun.
Yeah.
So my slim line is a mini slim line. I use purple, orange, and green, just as you did. My sack is a leaf bag, and it is 3-dimensional. Ooh la la! I just folded it up and put a little wad of
paper
in there to make it. And then I added some pretty little gems. So that is my card for Craft Roulette, episode 132. What about yours? Let us know what you did.
Okay, so mine is also mini slim, and I used purple and orange and green, and then I used craft as my neutral, and my sack was a hand cut, hand drawn, whatever, hand designed, and ink blended for some dimension. I put some extra dimension. I used an embossing folder on my background. And then I cut my flowers and added my Mystic Topaz gems.
That's really pretty. You did really well. You did very well. And the way you colored your flowers, I didn't see you do that, but you did that with ink, right? You don't use colored cardstock much.
I don't want to have to store it. So I keep white cardstock, and I have my ink pads, and I have my ink refills. If you like to ink blend, you definitely need ink refills. So what I did, here's the piece that I cut the flowers from. I blended the colors, and then, oh gosh, I don't know how that one goes. Oh, back together like that. I blended the colors and then cut it from that die cuts a number of flowers at the same time.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah, that's great.
And then I did the same with the leaves.
Nice.
So
nice.
Right. And now that's done, and I don't have scraps of green and orange and purple cardstock, which make me happy. I don't want to have to organize scraps.
I hear you. I'm so used to organizing scraps, I couldn't live without them, because I is so rare for me to cut into a new piece of paper because I
Right.
use itty bitty little tiny pieces of scraps.
Yeah.
I have my
good.
Goldilocks system. I've got my Papa Bear scraps and my Papa Bear sheets, my Mama Bear scraps, and my Baby Bear scraps.
Right.
So it's very easy to coordinate. But anyway, that works for me, and that works for you,
Yeah.
and I love it very, very much. So
Well, and now
thank
like
you.
I've
That's
got
one of
these
my
extra-
favorites.
I've got these extra flowers, so I have a little bag that I keep in the back of the pouch, and I'll put the flowers and the leaves in there for a future card.
That's
So-
your baby bear. That's your little
That's
baby
my-
bear patch.
My baby bears. So yeah.
Well, I think we're ready to tell everybody else how they can play along with us, and a few other things that we need to update them on, and then we will meet you at the end of the show with your camera flipped, and we'll say goodnight and do that
Sounds
secret craft roulette thing.
Okay.
Great job. You are going to want to play. Aren't you going to want to play? We give away great prizes. Remember, next week we will be giving away gift certificates for iCrafter and sweet November stamps. The way to do it is to complete your own project using those 4 parameters. Make sure you include those. You have 48 hours to submit it to craftroulette.live. There is a form already open, and your card will be featured next week on the show. Also, it will be featured on our website Monday morning.
Michelle said the form had an error,
The form had an error.
so I'll look at it right after the show.
Mr. Producer will look at it right after the show, so it may not be working right now, but check in a little bit and see if that works. Sometimes you follow me for tech advice. Turn off your machine and start it over. That's the only tech advice I have, but you'd be surprised how many times I've been right. So anyway, but do join us. We're a lot of fun. We're getting close to 10,000. Will you be a part of that? We would love that. We have some wonderful upcoming guests. Linda, we get to meet her on Monday for our tech call. I'm looking forward to that. She's a giggler, I think. I've seen her a little bit, and I think she's a giggler. She is the iCrafter queen. We have Michelle Lupton, who is in the chat tonight, and she's doing the Christmas cards with Ardyth and things like that, so you're going to want to meet her. Monica Taylor, one of our sweet friends, we just love her. Amanda Stevens will be joining us the 1st of November, and look who's coming also in November, none other than Crafty Al. So don't miss a single tiny week. We're going to be here having fun. New parameters every week. We do want to thank our patrons and welcome our new patron, Jen Johnson, I think was her name. I don't know her yet, Jennifer Johnson, and I look forward to getting to know her. But we do have a wonderful Patreon culture. We're a culture too. So we're part of the Craft Roulette culture. But we do have a lot of bonus content. If you are curious about it, there is a lot of information on craftroulette.live. It also has a link to see what all the bonus content is, even though it's not up to date. On our Patreon blog. And the Patreon blog is under Mary Gun Fun, because that's my professional name. You know, it's really fun to be in a professional situation and they say, like talking to somebody fancy with lots of degrees, things like that. And they say, what is your email? And you say, Mary Gun Fun. And they look at you and go, really? What? And I said, yes, that's my professional name. And they're like, that sounds like some kind of interesting profession. There is an interesting story actually about that from back in the day. I'll tell it over on Patreon soon. So thank you guys so much for your support. You mean a lot to us, and you're helping us out, digging out from this remarkable debt that we incurred to make this show. But we love this show. We do. We just don't kiss our pocketbooks very often. So what else do we have coming up? Don't forget to sign up for Make a Gallery, you guys. Oh, that's what we've got coming up. We've got giveaways to give away. We love giving away other people's stuff. So if you want to get some of the other people's stuff, make sure you send in a card, because that's who is on the board. The people that sent in a card last week are all on that board. Why didn't you tell me there was this hair sticking up? There. Anyway, the people that sent in a card last week have want their name on that board, and we're going to spin it, and somebody's going to win some things. Not everything is shipped internationally, but we will try our best to make everybody happy. So, Mr. Producer, what will we give away first? The official prize, a goodie bag. And can we give away 2 of those tonight? Okay, we're going to give away 2 of those tonight. First one, this is pretty much just the United States. Sometimes we make arrangements for Canada, but we'll talk. Ooh, that's the United States right there. Miss Lisa, I've met Lisa on our Patreon calls. She is a smart cookie. I am excited for you. Lisa, make sure you let me know that you're interested in the goodie bag. We have some fabulous goodie bags, all donated by our fun friends and viewers. For a second goodie bag, you let me know on the Craft Roulette contact form, please. That way I have it all in one place. If I get a message here and a message there, then I get confused and I sometimes lose track if I haven't gotten that spreadsheet. Anyway. Crystal, she's local too, I believe so. So, Crystal, thank you for sending in a card last week. Make sure you let me know that you want that, and so I can get that sent to you next week when I go to the best post office in Kansas City, in Martin City. Next, we're going to give away a handmade card with a nitty-bitty gift. Who can resist? This goes all over the world. This was the original giveaway. Oh, you're here. Okay, just send me your address and everything, Crystal, in the contact form. That would be super great. Oh, don't make me say that name. Jackie Muller in Australia. We'll just see how long this one takes, shall we? All right, but we'll send it. Make sure you send me your address. I'm not sure if I have it handy, so I'd appreciate that, and we will get something off to you, and we'll start counting down the days, how long it takes. And from Prickly Pear, thank you again, Sharon Ware, for being a guest, writing a poem about Craft Roulette, and being a very generous spin sponsor. We really appreciate you. And we love having you send in cards. It's great fun. You were here earlier? That's great. This one's going to... Sharon is super nice, Ardyth. She wrote a whole poem about Craft Roulette. It was just remarkable. Oh, yay, there she is. Kim Bright. Kim Bright. I'm thinking is she in Australia? Or am I just stuck on Jackie? I don't know. Can't remember. We'll figure it out. Let me know, Kim Bright, that you are interested in this, and I will send you all the information. And for our last Heavy Doodle gift certificate, woo! Isn't it just so much fun to give other people's stuff away? There are quite a few specials and giveaways this weekend, too, so y'all will be watching for those. Oh my gosh. If it isn't Deputy Heidi. Deputy Heidi! I think she was here. She's always ready to arrest somebody that's breaking the parameter code. The craft crimes. She's always on detail. So, Deputy Heidi, let me know that you want that. She sent me a cute card this week. And, I forgot to say anything. She sent me a cute card, and not only did she send me a card, she made a pin for Mr. Mike's sleeve. And it's a little shaker.
Kim says she won last week.
Oh, well, okay. We can do that. I will cross you off, but you may get a card anyway with a nitty-bitty gift. You may. All right, let's do another one for Prickly Pear. That's awfully kind of you. Thank you. I'm not so sure I'm that noble, but I'm glad you are. Now, if it ends on you again, it's meant to be, but it doesn't look like it's going to. Lisa Hall. She's going to be so happy. Lisa is also a patron and a sweet girl. I've met her in the Zoom call, so I'm excited for each and every one of you. Thank you so much, Kim. Oh, Ardyth. We got to talk to Ardyth. One thing about, she's going to be doing a card class with some deaf ladies, and I wanted to teach you my sign language that I came in very handy when I got to work with deaf ladies. It was, I'm sorry, and I forgot. I just wiping that thought away. I forgot. Okay. And those were the two things that I learned best. I'm sorry. I forgot. And then thank you is always good. That covered those three things will get you far in life. But my lovely deaf ladies that I just so enjoyed, they were so patient with me. They called me M Stamp for Mary, and I was the stamper. So they would make the letter M and stamp it in their palm like this. So that was their home name, is what they called it. My home name was M Stamp, and I actually quite treasure that. So anyway, I miss my ladies. I haven't seen them in a long time, but I told you I ran into one, and we just had a lovely conversation right there in the book store, because she can read lips. She was much better at her second language than I. But anyway, I think tell me how that goes. I would like to know.
I will. I'll let you know if they give me a home name.
Yeah. Yeah, it was sweet. Her last name was Sears, and she kind of people called her like an S ears because it sounded like Sears, and she wasn't so sure she liked that, but it worked. She kind of. And then the other story on that was we used to call glue dots snot dots because they kind of look like snot when they get on your finger. And so they were ordering, because I was a direct sales, right? So we were ordering, and this one lady was just going through the catalog as fast as she could and just looking for something, and she kept doing this. And the interpreter was going, "What is she asking for?" And I said, "That woman wants some snot dots." So anyway, it's a great fun thing. It's a whole nother culture. It really is. But they're sweet. You'll have fun. You'll have fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for another great night.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I always love coming.
Do you have anything you want to tell us about that we can't miss? That involves Ardyth? Going to go out on tour and do karaoke with Share Songs or anything?
No. We've got the Eat, Sleep, Crafty Retreat coming up.
Oh, do you?
We're gonna start marketing that very soon. And there is I'm probably not supposed to say that I'm going to be a speaker at the next Card Maker Success Summit.
Very good.
Which is in February, so I don't know that that's public knowledge yet, but there you go. You got
I won't tell anybody.
You got the dirt right here.
I won't tell a soul.
Well, it's not a big surprise. I've done it.
Right.
I've done 3 already, so
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been.
I
you've
really
been
enjoy that.
hands-on.
We meet so many people, and we have so much fun.
That's good to hear. I'm glad for you. I think you are probably quite an asset.
Well, I do a lot of the proofreading behind the scenes, so yeah, it's fun.
All that admin. That's right. Well, let's do our secret signal so that we know we're one of us. And tell everybody good night then. Thank you guys for joining us in the chat. Mr. Producer, you did a great job. I don't think you missed any buttons. He will be checking on that form. Who knows? It's working, he says. So go for it.
You might just need to refresh your browser.
You may need to refresh your browser. He tells me that more times than he's told me many other things. He's just said refresh your browser. Control refresh. Control refresh. That's how I know he likes me. He wants my computer to work. So good night, everybody. Thank you, Chatterboxes. Thank you, Ardyth. Once again, for just one for the road. Good night. Stay safe, everybody. Love you much. Bye-bye.